Welcome back to the channel, folks. A couple of years ago, I did an eval on the Walker Defense Nero 762. It was a direct laser metal centered muzzle device designed to delete muzzle rise, counteract recoil, and do so without creating a bunch of concussion from the standpoint of the shooter. In an effort to not retread ground already covered, I'll have that original video listed in all relevant places for your rundown. But the question is, does it hold up today? I've designed a variety of tests and will be directly comparing the performance of this curious device to several other options. Now, it's important to note that everything that you just saw in that intro was shot using a short-barreled 3.0 Hate. And for the duration of the testing today, we'll be using that exact same setup. To put a pin in it, the Nero absolutely works. So first off, I wanted to get an idea of how much disturbance you get from prone position. We've all been dusted before. So in comparison today, we're going to be testing the Nero, a linear comp, a dead air 3-chambered brake, a vortex style flash hider, and for kicks, a suppressor. Surprising to no one, the Titrex outperformed everybody in this test because a suppressor directs the blast far forward of the shooting position like a linear comp on steroids. So if I were going to rank them as far as dust kick up to the shooter, I would say suppressor, linear comp, Nero, flash hider, muzzle brake. Next up, to get an idea of relative recoil, I put each of these devices up against the Nero by only supporting the handguard on a 2x4 and didn't shoulder it. Earlier, I told you that this is 308, and this gun has relatively high recoil for that caliber because there's a lot of weight missing in the barrel. With both the flash hider and the linear comp, I about ate this one right to the face. I would say that overall, the Nero and the muzzle brake are almost identical in performance, but the muzzle brake, as you can see in the video, has a lot of blast that comes out the sides and rearward, and you just don't get that with the Nero. Very similar to the face feel of the suppressor. Ranking them, I would go Nero, suppressor, muzzle brake, linear comp, and then the flash hider.
The tedium
of this one was not fully evaluated before I sit down this path, I guess, is what I would say. And I see you looking at me, and you're like, Curtis, what are you doing, man? You have lost your mind. You've gone bonkers. Well, we know that all muzzle equipment has some kind of disturbance in the environment. And we know that just from your own empirical use, but also, you know, we did the sand pit and, you know, all that sort of stuff. But what does it actually mean when it comes to, for instance, the disturbance to those who are shooting around us? So what I've got here are some humidor cedars. These are super thin pieces of wood. And I am inserting them into this matrix here, and we're going to shoot all those muzzle brakes again and see what breaks, basically. And we're going to start out with the least abrasive and work our way up to where I think it's going to be anyway, because I don't want to insert more of these than I actually have to. And if I clear this whole matrix, I'm going to do that side too. If I clear this whole matrix too many times, then I will run out of humidor paper. So I've already been here for, I think, 15 minutes setting this sucker up. So the idea is going to be that the muzzle equipment, the muzzle itself, so like when we do the suppressor, for instance, it needs to sit on this screwdriver right there. And that'll give us a couple things, a couple in front of the muzzle to the side, and several to the back and to the side. We don't really care about what's happening like immediately in front of the muzzle because, well, anything that finds itself in front of the muzzle when the firearm is intentionally being discharged is not really of our concern. So I'm gonna finish this up and then I will catch up with you after we reset everything. Go in your home. All right, so we're gonna start off with, I believe, the suppressor and then the blast forward device. Then I think we go to the Nero, then the flash hider, and then the muzzle brake. So the camera that you're watching through right now is going to capture the results. And I got a faster one out front here that will hopefully get us a cool shot. I'm gonna put the muzzle right on the screwdriver that's here in the center and we'll see what happens. So as we would expect, basically nothing happened with the suppressor. Linear comp carved out a cone right at the front that basically annihilates everything within 8 inches of it, but no backward blast. This one's actually somewhat difficult because of the shape of the Nero. The Nero cleared out everything even with it out to 16 inches, but most of the indicators behind it were left intact. This one, 6 inches from it, was even in the same orientation before and afterwards. If I'm honest, this is where I made a mistake. I should have left the flash hider for last because while it looks very similar to the linear comp pattern, it was much more violent and it actually damaged the cardboard in several places. I'm gonna have to hover this one because this screwdriver, this whole section right here is destroyed. So I'm just gonna have to kind of bring it sort of in the same spot. It cleared a larger portion of the board than the Nero did, but I would also say that the key thing here is the backward blast shredded the indicators behind the brake. Okay, so I guess what I would point out here is kind of different besides just the scale of the difference between it and what the Nero did, but everything is kind of pushed that way. So we've got destruction all over the place. And I would also say that the ones that are missing aren't just uprooted, they're disintegrated. Like there's a lot more debris back there than there was previously. As a surprise to no one, a suppressor, generally speaking, of sufficient quality is going to outperform most muzzle equipment on the market in many categories, including what a muzzle device of any kind besides a suppressor doesn't do, which is suppress the sound signature. And I can hear what you're saying. Oh, I'm just going to go ahead and put a suppressor on the end. Okay. That's a $1,200 suppressor, and you could literally buy everything else that we tested today twice over for that kind of money. So your mileage may vary, but from my perspective, when it comes to the Nero 762, I've stated this in this video and in previous works. I think that it is the finest muzzle device that has ever been created to date. But when it comes to continuous improvement on the Nero 762, I think that really what it comes down to is a market analysis against its competition. So this thing is made out of Inconel 718, which means that it's going to command a little bit higher price point than some of the run-of-the-mill offerings out there, or even some of the premium offerings out there. So my suggestion to Walker Defense is actually to improve their product by making it shittier. I typically don't bring price into it because unless it's outrageous in either direction, I think that a company should be able to charge whatever it is they feel they should get from their work, as long as the market is supporting it. When it comes to the Nero 762, it's currently listed at $179, which I don't think is outrageous. However, when we analyze it against the market that it's competing in, I would call it a little bit high. If they were to make a stainless variant of this, I feel like it's not going to like half the price of it, right? But it probably knocked $20 off of it at market. And if we're talking $180 versus $160, well, now we're definitely competing against basically everybody in the space who is not making their stuff out of 718, Inconel, who's making it out of stainless, or they're making it out of peanut butter steel. So I think at that point in time, not only is it already the best muzzle brake on the market, but now it really is the best thing on the market, because now it is right there in the trenches with everybody else. It's not kind of like in the premium category. So I don't think they should stop making the Inconel variant. I just think they ought to do a few runs of lower quality product just to see what happens. Because I think that if they were to reach the point of critical mass adoption, because they are directly competing against everybody else, then I feel like they're not going to make it fast enough. In closing today, since the advent of the Nero, the market has drastically changed. I mean, it shifted towards suppressor ownership in a big, big way, particularly in the last year since the tax has fallen off. So I've seen a lot of the marketing shift towards bolt gun use. As far as muzzle brakes are concerned, I'm not saying that nobody who's got a gas gun is using a muzzle brake anymore or anything like that. I'm just saying that it seems to me like the trend is headed that direction. And I mean, there's a good argument for that, because suppressors, while they are applicable to bolt guns, they have their own concerns like mirage and things like that that have to be mitigated. So muzzle brakes don't do that. I would be very interested to see how this product plays with bolt guns, because it's designed for gas gun use. So I have never done that, so I have no idea. And I guess maybe for a future episode. Thanks for tuning in, and hopefully we'll see another one here at the VSO Gun Channel. And that was our recap of the 2026 look at the Nero 762 from Walker Defense.